guys, it's Winifred, and I am finally doing the Ride or Die tag, Jaclyn Hill's Ride or Die tag. And yeah, well, some of these categories I kind of cheated a little bit, and yeah, you'll see it as I go along. Okay, so let's just get started because let's see, we got 16 categories to go through. Okay, my most used primer, Ride or Die, has been this for like several years, guys. It is Smashbox Photo Finish, and it's a silicone based primer. I happen to like it. It's clear, it doesn't have any kind of shimmer or anything like that. My go-to for that would be Laura Mercier's Radiance primer, or either her bronze primer. But my true Ride or Die one that I have been using for more than 5 years, guys, is Smashbox Photo Finish. Foundation. Now, you all know on a daily basis I do not use foundation, but in the event that I want to put on foundation for you guys and do a video, like for instance today, I use Lancome's, it's Tint Eau de Lis Ultra. This is the one that I use. I absolutely adore this stuff. And Lancome has been doing a really good job with coming out with so many shades for deeper complexion. So yeah, I love this stuff. And when you put it on, it doesn't feel like you have on makeup. So that's what I really like about it. Your skin just looks like your skin. Now, on a daily basis, like I said, I don't use foundation, but this is something that I've been using for, God, I want to say maybe 10 or 15 years. And this is the Bobbi Brown foundation stick. And my color is in golden. But I don't use it as a foundation, guys, because this is a stick. So as you know, stick formulas tend to be a little heavier. What I do is I kind of use this as my concealer, if you will. So I'll just put a little bit of it underneath my eyes. I've got 2 dark spots here on my cheeks, and I just put that there, and that's it. And this is what I use, like I said, sometimes on a daily basis. If I have a blemish or whatever, I might tap it on. I don't like that look of a concealer on a blemish. That it makes it stand out more to me. Let's see, what else do I have here, guys? And speaking of concealer, I do not use concealer like most people use it. I don't use a concealer every day underneath my eyes or for troubled spots. Like I said, if I did do something like that, I would use this Bobbi Brown foundation stick. However, what I do use are these MAC concealers. And I believe, let me get my magnifying glass out, guys. This one is in NW35, and then I have another one that is extra, extra light, and it's in NW. I am back, and let me see if I could go back to where I left off at. My storage was running out of my phone, so sorry for that little disruption. Yeah, so what I was talking about were the MAC concealers, and I have the shade NW20, which is this lighter one, and this one is NW35, I believe. Yep, which is a darker one, and I use this one the most. But what I was saying is I do not use them as a traditional concealer, so to speak, to hide blemishes and all that kind of thing. What I use this for, and because I like this kind of let's see, I don't want to call it like it's a thicker consistency is what it is. I like to use this for carving out my eyebrow highlight and on top just to make that eyebrow area look a little neater. And then sometimes if I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting on my cheekbones, I'll use it there and then chin and a little bit down the nose and on the forehead. So that's what I use these for. I don't use them as a traditional concealer and concealer type of thing. And then the next one is face powder. That's the next category. Guys, and it might sound a little bit boring, but this is what I use, and I have been using this now for maybe 15 years. And this is the Bobbi Brown loose powder in golden orange number 3. And this is the sheer formula, but when I first started using the Bobbi Brown powder in this color, I was using their regular translucent powder. It came in like a little thicker container, not that big, but like maybe about this high. And it was just your traditional powder. Well, then when they came out with the sheer, which does not give you as much coverage as that one, I went to the sheer. So that's what I use every day on my face. When I say that I don't use makeup, I use this. I use this powder, and that's kind of like my makeup. I don't use a specific setting powder for my under eye area because my eyes tear and it would just look a hot mess, guys. I'm just going to keep it real. I can't do it. So yeah, the Bobbi Brown, this is what I use all over the face. The next is under eye setting powder. I just answered that question. I don't use it. My eyes tear, and that's why I don't put concealer under my eyes, because I have sensitive eyes, and the day of the week they could be red. I have allergies, and you know, my eyes tear sometimes. So can you imagine that streak all up underneath your eye and all of this caking up underneath there? Ugh, no. So I don't do it. The next category is blush. Again, this might seem a little boring to some of you, but my ride or die blush is Blunt by MAC. Now, I mix this with other blushes. I sometimes use it as a contour. I used to use it as a kind of like a contour, or what they call now draping. I guess it's like a little darker shade of a blush up underneath and then a lighter shade on top. So I use this also as in a pinch as a transition, and I did that today, a transition shadow. I travel with this because I could do so many different things with it. Like I just said, you know, I can use it as a light contour. I can use it as a blush mixed with something else, or I can use it as a transition shade. So this has been my ride or die blush. And I want to say, as a matter of fact, guys, this is the only blush, I want to say in life, because I'm not really a big blush person, that I have ever repurchased because I actually used it all. This is the only one. And yeah, that's that for that. And bronzer, I don't use a bronzer, guys. I have Laguna, I have Casino, but I don't use them. I don't, be honest, I don't use them. I have Casino, I have Laguna, but I just don't use a bronzer. I know some people, you know, use it to put color back in their face, but I just don't have it. I don't use it. Okay, so highlight. Ooh, now this is a fun one. Now, don't get mad at me because these are truly my ride or die highlights. And when I run out of this, I don't know what I'm going to do. But this is MAC's Magnetic Appeal. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. I love this. I have this on today, and when I do highlight, I don't really see that. There you go. I don't really like highlight for the gods. I don't want to see, well, sometimes, I won't say all the time. I don't want like a strong highlight. This is my everyday highlight. I like a glow in the skin. Not so much of a highlight, but a glow. So a magnetism is one of my number ones, and I must admit, then when MAC re-promotes this, I will be buying them out because I love it. And the next one is, again, another MAC product. And this is the one that I wear every day to work because, and I already bought Amazon or eBay out. I love this. This is so nice for the inner corner, the cheekbones, chin, nose, everywhere where you want to highlight, but it gives you that natural, nice glow. So this one is a little more toned down than the magnetism. You can see this one's like this is a creamy finish, and then this one is more of a powder. So I like them both, guys. I really do. And I really hope, and MAC, if you're listening, please bring these back. Put them in your basic run of highlights. I don't know why not. So, okay, so then to be fair, I'm going to give you two more highlights that I love and use on a regular basis. One is, and I, honest to God, I have this in like 3 different packagings. This is from Fashion Fair, and it's called Golden Lights. I love this. It just has that nice coppery golden type of look. And honestly, guys, again, this gives you a natural glow. I want to say that I have been using this for over 10 years. I had it, if you know about the Fashion Fair's packaging, I had it in the pink packaging. And then I had it in this brown color, but it was a larger packaging. Then it went to this circular packaging. But I love that. See that? That's beautiful. And then I have another one. These are just alternatives, guys, for you. I have repurchased this one by Elizabeth Arden several times, and it's called Bronze Beauty. It has a highlight over here and then more of the bronze on the other side. What I do is I swirl the two together, and it gives me a nice highlight. See how deep that is? And then here is the lighter shade, and I use the two of them together. That's them right there. I use the two of them together, and I love it. I have repurchased this several times. So guys, again, this is Elizabeth Arden Bronze Beauty. Love it, love it, love it. Then my next category is mascara. I use a lot of different mascaras, but the ones I keep coming back to is L'Oreal. That's the brand. I most recently like Ms. Manga Rock. I don't like the pink cap one, but I like the yellow cap one. I guess they discontinued that, so I stocked up on that. But I love the Million Lash by L'Oreal, and I also love the original Voluminous by L'Oreal. These are my ride or die mascaras, and there are a ton of high price mascaras that I like, but I'm going to always have the Voluminous L'Oreal in my arsenal. There's a couple of the ones that L'Oreal came out with that I just do not like that butterfly one, and God, let me see if I have it here. Maybe I don't. It's like a double-sided one, that I cannot stand. Matter of fact, I didn't even finish using it. It's got the primer on one side and the mascara on the other. Do not like it. Okay, moving on from that. Lipstick. Now you all know I am basically a nudie girl. I keep saying that. Like I have to justify my choices. But I am. I'm always going to reach for a nude. So, again, there are so many nudes that I like from different brands, not just MAC, but I go for shades like this. This is Self-Aware by MAC, and it's a beautiful nude. Swatch it here. Matter of fact, it just like melts right into my skin. That's it right there. This is Self-Aware. I love Yash, Peach Stock, anything like that. And then on the pinky side, when I do more of a pinky neutral eye look, this, I'm embarrassed to show it to you all because it's a very soft lipstick and eek. But this is called Kava, and it's by Bite. And I am so glad that they re-promoted it at Sephora's, because this is like my perfect little pinky nude and the one that I always go to. And can you see that there? Right there? I'm going to say right here. That is my perfect little pinky nude, and I had it on. Matter of fact, I started out with that lip last Friday when I did my ASMR Freaky Lip Friday, and I started out with this one on my Kava, because that's what I'm going to reach for when I need a pinky nude lip. And let's see what else we're jumping to, guys. Bronzer, highlight, lipstick, liquid lip. The combination that I currently have on, guys, is what I've been wearing like probably a month and a half, and I love this. So it's NYX's Lingerie lipstick, and this one is in Beauty Marked. And then I have ColourPop's liquid lip in Chai. So these are the two that I have been wearing for a month and a half. These are going to probably go into my favorites. So yeah, I love it. And moving to the next category, which is gloss. Again, it's got to be a nudie kind of gloss. I love nudes like this, Peach Stock, Gaga 2, I believe it is. But anything that pops up a nudie lip, anything that will go nicely over, right there. Anything that will go nicely over a nude lip to give it a little bit of moistness. This one is from that Sharon Osbourne collection, and I want to say, yeah, Naked Space. I think this was Sharon Osbourne. I'm not sure. But this is MAC's Naked Space. I think it might be a limited edition, but this is the kind of shade that I would go for my nude lip. And what is my next? Lashes. I have them on now. This is my go-to lash Ardell Demi Wispies. Boom, boom. These are them. Now, I have them on now, and they look really, really natural to me with a little bit of pop. I don't know, guys. When I put on, like, the lashes that are really, really thick, they just look crazy on me, and I mean crazy. So these are always just right. I have the double wispies. I mean, and I've had those on before too. They look a bit much for me, but these are always my ride or die ones so far. Next one. Okay. Eyeshadow palette. Okay, I'm going to give you two. Now, one without a doubt is Sanya Kashuk. This is all mattes, but you've got everything that you could possibly want in here for a daytime and even a nighttime. And then because you have this black shadow, or this deeper brown, it's not a real deep brown, but it's a deeper brown, you could mix this together and make a black brown. But here you have your you can also double these as an eyeliner. And this, of course, could be mixed with any of these shades to make it a deeper color for your outer V. And yeah, you've got transition shades in here. You have your brow bone shades in here, and you also have your lid shades. So I am really loving this Sanya Kashuk palette, and I want to say that this retails for $19.99 at Target. And yeah, loving that. Now, you know, I've also got to make an honorable mention of a palette that I got years and years ago from MAC. And I want to say it came out with a Royals collection. It's red and has like a red jewel in the center. I always seem to take that palette with me when I go traveling because it has your basic colors in there, like a black, you have your dark brown, you have satin taupe, and a couple of other shades. It's a six shade palette. And satin taupe to me is just one of those classic shades that will go nicely on any skin tone. So I always carry that. I just can't find it. Otherwise, I would have mentioned that or would have shown you that. And also because that came out in a palette, a lot of those colors are MAC basic colors. So, you know, you could recreate it, is what I'm trying to say. All right. Now, here's the other honorable mention, because I'm a nudie girl. I like this. This is Smashbox Full Exposure palette. And you look real close here. On the top are your matte shades. Well, and on the bottom here are your sparkly kind of shades. So this means to me, I could dress it up for evening or daytime. I can use all mattes, or I can mix those mattes in with the sparklier shades to give you that classy evening look with a little bit of the sparkle. And I think what makes it look really nice is the fact that these are, how do you want to say, they're neutral sparkles. So it looks nice, and it will complement all age groups, I believe. Especially if you're a little bit more mature in age. And yeah, these are really pretty. You have your like I said, your sparkle and your matte, coordinating matte up and down. And so this ranges from light, the more lighter shades in the middle, to very dark. So this is just really a nice palette because it has so many tones in it. And you can easily mix this with some of your more vibrant hued palettes, shall I say? Yeah. But I think it mixes rather nicely with those. Next is setting spray. I don't use one, but I guess if you want to talk about some type of a spray, it's not really a setting spray, but I will always have Max Fix Plus. I mean, if you happen to over powder, if you use a lot of powder, You could spray this on. You can mix it with your vanilla pigment, shake it up, gives your skin a nice lumosity. You could wet your brushes and use it with your pigments. It's very, very versatile. Although it's not a setting spray, this is the closest that I would, I guess the closest in that kind of a category. And I want to say that there was a category in here for just plain eyeshadow, a singular eyeshadow, but if not, I'm throwing it in there. This is one of my more favorite single eyeshadows. I have a few, but this one I will always come back to, and this is called Couture Beige, and it's by Givenchy. If you look real close, you have different finishes here. You have a satin, a more sparkly finish. You have a little bit of a frost and a matte. What I do normally is I put my brush right there in the center and get a mixture of all of them and apply it to the lid. So depending upon your skin tone, this can be used as a lid color. It could be used as a brow color. This is a good mixer color for your other shades. I love this. And I love the fact that, like I said, there's 4 different finishes, but they are all the same color. Again, this is by Givenchy, and it is Couture Beige. And you can get it at Sephora's, I believe. And the last category is perfume. I am a Bond girl, so I love this one. It's called Hot Always. I have repurchased this, I don't know how many times, but I love this. Now, I did not realize that this was a man's cologne. But guys, I kid you not, whenever I wear this, I get compliments from both women and guys, and my brother loves it, and he has worn it a couple of times. But this is one that I have always repurchased. And another one that I've purchased from Bond number 9 is New Harlem, Nuiji Noho, So New York. Oh God, okay. The list goes on and on. Okay, I'm going to leave it at this. I love this one. And outside of Bond, I love Terry Mugler's Womanity. I love that scent. But this one and New Harlem, I will never be without, I don't think. So, yeah, I think that is it for this Ride or Die tag, guys, and I'm so glad I finally got it over with. But it's so hard to pick and choose. So thank you for watching, and until the next video, I'll talk to you real soon, guys. Bye-bye.